Apache goes Indian again. And what? We just left Bombay. We're in Delhi. In fact, I'm on the way to go and see my people in Jalandhar city, you know, but from one traffic jam to another. I'm over here to meet the producer. There's a guy that wants to put me in a soap, some Indian soap over here. Do I look like an actor? We're gonna find a little bit about the Indian film industry, the Indian TV, what it's like, what it's all about. Come with me, let's go and check it out. Respect every time, you know, rude boy.
Chalo.
Finally.
Bobby.
Apache. Nice to
Hi.
meet you. Listen, before you start, I'm sorry I'm running late. I'm a few days late, but we've been on some pressure, some crazy schedules in Bombay. I know you're going to give me a hard time.
We're in trouble. We've missed 2 days of work and the bad weather's coming. We've done a little bit of improvisation, but we're stuck.
Bobby, I'm trying to do you a favor here. You know, I don't really want to be in a soap. I'm on the way to the Punjab, Jalandhar. I have to see my people. Last time I was in Jalandhar, I was 7 years old. The whole village is waiting, and you give me a hard time about being late for this soap.
We've been waiting 2 days. You want us to wait for another week? In any case, there's a problem there because Jalandhar's underwater. You know all these floods.
Jalandhar's underwater?
Yeah, just take a look at that.
This doesn't really make a difference. If it's flooding or whatever, I have to swim across this.
I think first we must try to get the soap done. And then if we have time, we can go to Jalandhar. Today, there's nothing that's happening today and tomorrow, that's for sure.
Tomorrow's off? So tomorrow I must go to Agra. I've always wanted to go to Agra. I'd love to go to Agra. Tomorrow is Agra.
We'll try to work out Agra into our schedule for tomorrow. But relax.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt for a sec. What's that building over there?
It's a monument to the unknown soldier, all the people who died in the Second World War and the First World War. Their names are inscribed on it. That's called the India Gate. It is that it's the back of this huge road, which is sort of built with the seat of power on the top, which is the president's house. On either side are the government, so the prime minister's office and the army headquarters. And then you come down to India Gate, and then you turn around, and you're supposed to see this beautiful house which the president lives in. And voila, there's nothing. You can just see the top of the dome because the architect screwed up. If the whole house had been about 100 meters forwards, you could have seen the whole house. But because it's just over the lip of the hill, all you see is the dome from here. And sort of that looks funny.
So everything out here seems very different from Bombay. It seems very pretty, seems almost very British. Green grass and trees and everything.
Well, this was built by a British architect. It was built by the British in the turn of the century, a guy called Lutyens. And we have a lot more space than Bombay. Bombay's got the sea around it, and in that sense it's very crowded, whereas we can spread out. And then this was being designed as a new capital. If you go to Old Delhi, it's a different story altogether.
So where is Old Delhi? There's Old Delhi and there's a New Delhi?
That's right. The Old Delhi is the walled city of Delhi, and it was the Mughal Delhi when the British came in. Very tight, very concentrated, walls, fort, ready for battle anytime. This is where the real action in Delhi is, and before the British came, this was where the main city used to be, before was. These are now sort of narrow streets of the Mughal period. This is a soup kitchen that you're seeing coming up on our right.
Well, what's all the people sitting down here for?
Well, they're the poor people. They can't afford a decent meal. Here they can get a cheap, nutritious meal.
Alright.
And they've got to sort of...
And who pays for it?
Well, if they have the money, they pay for it. And sometimes charitable institutions will give the owner some money. And he said, feed so many people on our behalf for charity, and they would pay.
What's it called? A soup garden?
No, I'm calling it a soup kitchen, but basically it's a poor man's restaurant. I mean, that's
almost like a charity kind of setup.
Yeah, and it's for the beggars and the laborers and people who don't have much money.
I haven't come across anything like that in Bombay. Just here in Delhi?
I think so, but there could be the poorer quarters, the Muslim quarters in Bombay where that might happen. Amongst the Hindu quarters, this happens in the temples. The temples would give the food, but their way is different.
A lot of hustlers out here as well.
All the time, naturally.
All the time?
If a street is alive, it has hustle.
Yeah, hustlers.
And you'll see all these milk places over here. That's because their food is so spicy. It's really great, but it's very spicy. Then to neutralize the acid in the food, you have to have a hot cup of milk at the end of it, and then you can sleep well. You know my friend, the painter Manjit Bawa, whose house we're going to, he lives down here. Right here. Yeah, this is it. Come. He's a great guy, and he's a great painter, and he's a great musician. You love him. Come.
Hi, Bobby. Apache, I told you about him.
Oh, nice meeting you, Apache.
It's worth being held up in Delhi just to meet this man who I first heard of back in Handsworth when I wanted to study art at school. And here I am in some grim back street in Delhi actually meeting him. So I'm looking forward to this, Dread. How much years have you been painting now?
Basically, I feel when you realize you want to become a painter, you want to dedicate your life to this discipline, then you start. So that way I started when I was class 8 or I was 14 or 15, you know.
Many years.
Many years, yeah.
Oh, this particular piece.
This is very unusual painting of mine though.
Alright.
And it looks like a figure, but my interest is not as a total figure. Apart from total figure, my interest is like, look at this form. You won't see in human body just coming a separate form.
Yeah.
This is a separate form. Nose is not like a routine nose. It's like a separate form. This is a separate form. Look at the clothes. It's not the usual clothes. I made a form of it. You know. I love colors. But when I started, this kind of color nobody's seen. The violet and green, bright green, and so much empty space, and this kind of forms. People thought they were not used to it. They thought it's awful. People told me he can't draw. Some of the critics, he doesn't know how to draw. Though I draw every day, and my drawing is supposed to be very powerful, you know. And they thought it's such too bright. Who will hang this painting in their homes? It doesn't go with the furniture.
Oh.
So no, I tell people, change your furniture. If you want to change, have this painting, change your curtains.
What about black and white?
I do a lot of black and white.
Yeah, you do a lot of black and white.
A lot of black and white. Maybe 10 times more than this painting.
Really? You know, Manju, there's many painters all over the world. You know, painters struggling all over the place. What about India? Does the Indian government help young painters? Is there any support for them?
India is a very poor country comparing with the West. You have seen the West more. But comparing with the kind of money Indian government has, they do support.
They do support?
Yeah, they do support. They buy young painters. No, I'm a director of a museum, and I try to show their work in the museum. It's the most important museum in India, Bharat Bhavan. And I show their painting. I invite them on camps and seminars, and I buy their painting also. And government is supporting those museums, and we do collect younger painters' work. So Indian painters are doing quite well comparatively.
So Manju, obviously, you know, art, painting and the whole of the industry is like any other industry, is like very commercialized now. It's gone beyond a joke. How do you feel about that?
The whole thing is like a joke because it's unfortunate, you know, people who buy the work, they do not understand what is art. Some people buy for the namesake, some people buy for the decoration, they think they understand, they buy and large lot of junk, you know, bad art. But when I painting, I forget myself. It's like a meditation for me.
Okay.
It's knowing myself. Apart from that, I can't do anything better than that.
Alright, we just come off a very, very long journey all the way from Delhi, and I'm in the place I've always wanted to be, Agra. And of course I want to see the Taj Mahal, but why? There's a few more places I want to check out, so there's great, interesting stories behind a place like this. So we're going to check out this place, so just come with me. Just come with me, check out this story, yeah. Alright, now this place is a perfectly preserved ghost town, a Mughal city built at the height of the emperor's splendor. The Emperor Akbar made a pilgrimage to this spot where the saint foretold of the birth of his son, and in gratitude Akbar named the boy after the saint and built this magnificent city near the saint's dwelling, and in fact made it the capital of the empire. It's said that the city was abandoned as quickly as it had been built due to a lack of water, lack of pani. Now I feel like a spaceman, Rasta. Now this absolutely amazing place is called Fatehpur Sikri. Akbar was a guy who had this great place, and he was a guy who had 4 wives from 4 different religions. And the story is actually about his son. And the story basically is that his son was a guy who found this girl and he wanted to marry this girl, but daddy wasn't having it. Akbar had great plans for his son to marry the daughter of some Persian king or whatever. But Akbar wasn't having it. He found this peasant girl and that was the woman for him. So what? Akbar sent his son off to war, and while his son was fighting away, what did he do? He tried to reason with the woman. He tried to say, boy, here's some riches, here's some gold, just get out of our lives. He wasn't having it. She wasn't having it. Saying? So what did he do? He ordered the woman to be buried alive in a wall. Had this great wall built and had this woman buried alive in the wall, and this wall is still here today. You have to check this place out. It's absolutely amazing, Drid. Akbar was known to be tolerant and interested in other religions. And in fact, the palace compound reflects the 4 different religions of his 4 wives in its architecture. And the height of the emperor's glory, Akbar kept a band of performing artists called Naratan, or 9 gems. What's that guy doing up there?
He's the brother, my friend is here.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna jump?
Jump.
Alright, let me see this.
Yes.
Let me see.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Hello!
Is that alright?
Yes.
Your brother.
Right.
You jump as well?
Yes, me old man.
Oh, not dangerous?
No problem.
Family business.
My family.
No religious.
Yes.
Religious?
Yeah, really?
Oh, respect. But yo, for me, it's Agra, a dream come true, the Taj Mahal. Come with me. Alright folks, I did say to you I wasn't going to be here as a tourist, but listen, yo, we got the Taj Mahal right here, and I've been listening about the stories about Taj Mahal since I've been a child, alright? Remember the story about Akbar? This was built by his grandson Shah Jahan in memory of his wife. Pity she didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm going to see it, and we've got a little problem here because you can't come with me, so I'm going to give you a feel, alright? I'm going to go check it out, come back and tell you what it's all about. Respect, good boy. It took 22 years to build using the very best craftsmen and architects available and some 20,000 slave laborers. Because Shah Jahan believed that there could be no love stronger than his for his wife, and because he wished to show this love in a building that would be forever matchless. It is rumored that the laborers were all executed, the craftsmen and architects had all their hands chopped off, and I say, no respect to it. Boy. Absolutely amazing place, man. Absolutely stunning. Hearing about this place is one thing, but actually being here is another story. And talking about stories, I heard a couple of funny stories down there. There's a story about Shah Jahan's son. He had a rule about shaving off your moustache. You know what the philosophy was? That when you're praying to God, the moustache comes in the way. So you shave off your moustache so your voice, your prayer gets heard by God. Certain reasoning behind that, but keep in mind, I think. Agra is a place of staggering beauty, but you know, to me, beauty starts and finishes with music, and particularly in India, which musically has had such an influence on my life.
How do you end up sort of translating into music? Because you're not from a musician's family, you didn't study music. Where did it come from?
See, I'm just a very simple person that loves music. And when you're at home and you hear Indian music in this ear, and you hear reggae in this ear, already it's fused. So I just sing that fusion. So you're singing about a fusion that everybody can relate to, black, white, Indian, all over.
They already know what
They already know it.
I already know what you're doing. You know,
Plus there was a novelty.
yeah.
People thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Is it an Indian person doing reggae? Is it a black person that's learned the Indian language? Who is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Where has it come from? Who's been able to do this? So there was a novelty aspect as well. It was funny, you know.
I think it's a very natural thing happened, you know.
Yeah.
There's no really reply, you know, in a way.
What he's doing, that simplicity coupled with the quality of observation, the city in which he lives, the street and home, that's what makes that music.
From the singing or the feeling like singing, how did it sort of get to a commercial?
For me, it was very, very simple. I started off at school just wanting to be a teacher. Never wanted to be in the music business. I just love music. But when I always loved music so much. I always play music, buy records. And then what happened was I said to myself, I must be able to sing a song myself. Just like any kid. Must be able to sing a song and take it home and play it and say, this is me. Everyone said, this is a great song, is that really you? And you know, it was Punjabi and everyone's laughing, so I said, alright. So everybody said they want a copy. So I said, alright, then let me make some copies. And then the guy said, oh, you have to have minimum 500 records. So I've got 500 records at home, I've given away 10, so I'm left with 490. I'm sitting at home with these 490 records, so what am I going to do? So because it wasn't for commercial release, it was just for my friends and my family. And then what happened, I took all these records to the shops and see if they could sell them. And after 2 weeks, the song was #1. You know, I went back and everyone said, you know, where have you been? We could have more of these records. And from there I signed a deal. And it was just as very simple as that. From there I just signed a deal. So it wasn't an intention of I want to be in the music business, I want to be a singer, I want to go on stage, I want to tour. There was no ambition at all. My ambition from school was to be a teacher. So that, you know, so it was just like, it was maybe luck, it was maybe destiny, or whatever happened. The first song got to #1 in the reggae charts, Indian charts. The second song, the same thing. The third song, so I got lucky.
You've been in Delhi a day now.
Yeah.
What do you think of the place?
I have a lot more to learn about Delhi. A couple of days, I can't really give you an opinion about Delhi. But maybe we should find out some more. So Bobby, it's been a good one. I'm glad I came to this party now. You know, I'm sorry about before, you know, you gave me a hard time before about this soap opera, you know that.
Yeah,
But
but
no.
you still got to do it.
We still gotta do that tomorrow.
Agra tomorrow. I'm taking you.
Yeah, I don't mind
But the
that.
soap's day after, and you got to do that before you head anywhere towards Jalandhar.
But this is the right vibe. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Nice. Alright, we finally reached. This is the place, Bobby?
Yeah, absolutely.
All the mad rush and panic can be here, so you can relax now. Very interesting place. Where's everybody? All this mad panic, where's everybody?
It's only half an hour. That's Indian Standard Time.
Indian Standard Time after all this craziness? Jesus. Boy, this place looks deserted, Red.
Hi, I'm Sanjay Chan.
Sanjay.
Really sorry about late. This is not England, this is India. You know the feeling. This whole crew has already come.
Oh, you have the whole team out here now?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're the script writer for this soap?
Yeah, that's I'm the script writer for this soap. And
Yeah.
can we discuss about your script?
The script, oh. Got a good script for me?
Yeah, this is your script.
But this, what's this? It's in Hindi?
Yeah.
No, I can't even speak Hindi, let alone
But
read
no
Hindi.
one told me that you can't speak Hindi.
No, Punjabi.
Punjabi words are also there. I did in the Roman as well. You know?
So you can teach me some Hindi?
Yeah, definitely I'll do that.
We have to have a rehearsal.
We'll do that thing. But don't worry about that thing. So you can just read it and we'll just do the rehearsal.
But you have to teach me some Hindi.
Yeah, definitely I'll do that.
Alright, so I'm gonna learn some Hindi. It's a Hindi lesson as well.
Yeah, that's
So I
true.
know Mom's gonna be happy with that.
Stephen, so the way we're going to do it is, you've been through the script, Sanjay's been
Yeah,
the lines with you, yeah?
briefly, yeah.
So I know it's going to be difficult, especially with the Hindi.
That's right.
bit of it. But what we will do is we'll take it in sections, so it's not going to be too much of a problem.
I've never read the script before, and you're gonna teach me Hindi, you're gonna make me into an
All in
actor.
45 minutes.
All in 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
And you're
This is a
gonna
place of instant karma. So
Why?
it's instant. Everything's instant here. In this
what
case,
about this song?
this is a song. What you have to do with the song is that Vinod, who's that proprietor guy,
Yeah.
he's going to stand up and start singing a traditional Rajasthani sort of folk tune.
Alright.
And he's going to say, okay, let's see what you can do. That's when you stand up and say that, okay, this is what I can do, and you start rapping with him. He breaks into another verse, and then you break into the other verse. And finally you land up singing it. The last bit you'll sing together, with everybody joining in with their own sort of tune. But don't worry, we'll do a good rehearsal, we'll walk it through, Nothing to worry about.
You're in charge, man.
Just be cool.
You're in charge.
Okay.
Well, this is it. I'm a part of Bollywood, rude boy. I saw so many Hindi movies when I was a kid, but did I ever think that I would step right in the heart of where it's happening, the Dream Factory, Bollywood?
I'm ready. Silence, please.
Silence, please. We are ready to roll.
Roll camera. Action.
And then, when your older brother was born, my first son, my heart bursting with pride, I picked the little boy up. And I walked out of the teepee and I raised my heads to the heavens to praise the gods. The first thing I saw is...
They reckon to make 2 movies a day in India with weekly audiences of 500 million. Each film or television program cost about 1/10 of what they cost in Europe or America, and the Indian audience is always asking for more. Hollywood can only but dream about the sort of influence over people's lives that the Bollywood Dream Factory has over ordinary Indians. Miles of newsprint are published every week telling the inhabitants of even the most isolated villages of what their favourite stars eat, wear and even say. Movie stars in India have a license to behave and act in a way that the ordinary Indian would not dream of. And they live a life of affluence that is mirrored in the films they appear in. Divorce, scandal, sex and drugs, the Indian audience will tolerate it only because it's their heroes and heroines. And here I am, not quite a star yet.
And cut.
That was your 70-foot plate.
Do it again. One more time. Stop it!
It's been the most difficult journey I've ever been on. But it's worth it, man. We're on the way to the village. The whole family's waiting. The whole village has come to a standstill. Listen, driver, no more stopping. We just have to get there. I wonder what we're going to come across next. Driver, what's this? What's happening here? I can't take any more stopping. Oh no, not again. I've heard about flooding, man, but this is just one thing after another, after another, after another. Problems after problems. Driver. This is just too much, man. Find a stick, let's see how deep this thing is. My city just there, Jalandhar. Jalandhar is waiting for me, and look at this. I've heard about flooding, but this is just too much. Let me see how deep this is, man. We must get across this. Look, my village is just there.
Yes, I am looking what...
Is there another road goes around?
No, there is no way. There is no way.
I must go across here. I must get across.
No, you can't cross.
No, look, I've come too far. There's been too much problems, and I must
just
get...
Just look that tree.
No tree. I don't care about the tree. Build a boat or whatever. Listen,
just
man.
Look, you can't
Listen,
go.
I'm
Just look.
Jalandhar city, here I come. My God. Go for this thing.